I am not an alarmist, and I think people throw around the word crisis far too easily. This is a crisis, this is a crisis, but you know what? I legitimately believe there is a fatherhood crisis here in America, and it didn't just start yesterday. In fact, it is something that's been building for a long time, but I think the crisis of the masculinity and manhood started with this crisis with fatherhood. So today, I'm going to delve into what it means to be a father, the importance of fatherhood, and honestly how it has changed and probably does need to change for the future. That sounds interesting to you? Stick around and let's get at it. Hey, I'm Rob Johnson. I'd like to welcome you to the Legacy Gentleman channel. If it's your first time tuning into this channel, every week we talk about the values, skills, and works that help you be admired and desired 1,000 years from now. And when you have those skills, you, sir, are a legacy gentleman. Here's what I think the normal development for men should be in life. You're a boy, then you become a man, then you become a husband, then you become a father who takes a boy to a man and guides him as he moves into husbandhood and fatherhood. Some guys do it wrong. They become this grown adolescents who never take responsibility. Then they become a baby daddy, and then that's where a lot of people just stay. As I mentioned before, it should go boy, man, husband, father. And I think that being a father is inseparable from being a husband. And traditionally, it should go that way first, and that's how I'm going to encourage it. But today, I'm separating that husband role from the father role because they're really two separate things, and you need to approach them as two separate things. The traditional role of a father is that he's the head of the house. The mother looks to him for leadership, the children respect his leadership, and he is the one that sets the standards and the way everything should be going in the house. Traditionally the disciplinarian, traditionally the one that is seen as the provider, traditionally as the one who's supposed to have the wise counsel and make everything better in the house. And that view came from fathers having an active role in their children's life, having an active role in the family, the children's lives, and the mother's life. It doesn't necessarily mean that they were doing the cooking and the cleaning, but it means that the way that the father was involved was he had a say, he had an interest, and he had wise counsel. That's what good fatherhood meant. That's what an active fatherhood meant, being involved in your children's life and their development. At some point in parenting, the father became the silent partner. The mother did most of the talking, she did most of the value shaping, and the dad just thumbs upped it, and he wasn't really the one also there offering guidance and direction, and it did us very much harm to the point where people felt like their dad really wasn't there, and it was re-encouraged by the mother that the dad should be doing more, and it kind of got off kilter, kind of where we are in society now. And this weird belief that men are not necessary and that women can do it better without men. As you can see, it's not true. Families and mothers need fathers. And men, I'm gonna tell you why it's important for you that you have fatherhood. And the first thing is the thing I alluded to. It's for your personal development. Becoming a father changes your life. To be a good father, it's time for you to start taking that focus off yourself and your own wants and needs. And you have responsibilities that you have to focus on that are outside of yourself. And fathers, when you do that, you start on this journey that takes you into real development. Instead of thinking about my needs today and what I want for tomorrow and what I want for 3 years from now, you start thinking about how can I build something that's going to last the test of time, because there is something outside of you that exists outside of you that needs your guidance, that needs your direction, something that gives you a deeper purpose that will live on outside of you for the rest of eternity. And what it should spark in you is this self-discovery journey about what is more important past me, past tomorrow, and start building it for yourself and building it for your children. Fatherhood is a challenge. You'll start seeing a child who's a completely different person from you, but they have the same basic needs that people have. But you're gonna have a lot of ups and downs because this part of you is gonna grow. They're gonna have setbacks and challenges and get hurt, get sick. But you as a father, they're gonna be looking to you as that rock, that person that's gonna tell them it's gonna be okay, then looking for you to have a plan to make it okay. That's part of what being a father is and what you will develop in yourself and for other people around you when you're acting the role as a father. You co-parenting with someone is going to deepen your relationship with that person, and you guys are going to bond together on this shared experience of rearing a child. It takes work and perseverance to raise children, to overcome their ups and downs and understand them and what's different about each one of your children so you can help them reach their full potential. You need a partner to do that. You need their mother to help you do that. And if you have multiple mothers, it's really difficult to do that. Or if you guys aren't together and had no plans to ever be together, it'll be more challenging. But that's a challenge. And we as men, we don't shy away from challenges. We owe this to our children, not to be in an abusive relationship, not to be in a demeaning relationship, but to be there for our children, to help them grow and expand. And part of that is the relationship we have with their mother that we should be able to build. You're building a legacy for your family with fatherhood. There are values, there are skills, there are works that have built society. And those values, skills, and works don't fall out the air. They have to be taught and they have to be performed every day. And that's what you do as a father. You perpetuate those values on to everyone else in your life. You're gonna have traditions, you're gonna have beliefs, you're gonna have lessons learned. You're gonna have, possibly if you do it right, businesses and skills and reputation that's passed on from father to son to grandson to great grandson. And that's only gonna happen when we take active roles in fatherhood and teach fatherhood to the next generation. Fatherhood allows you to build a legacy. Civilization is formed on the backbones of families, and families working together make communities, and fathers who should be leading their families should be leading the communities. You're gonna look around and you're gonna say, hey, this is where my children are growing up. I need to ensure that my house is safe. Then I need to ensure that the community where everybody else's house is safe. We're gonna be looking out and say, ensuring that it's safe, that these values that I hold dear are being shared with everybody in the community so that we will have an identity as a community, and that's gonna be who we are going forward. So fatherhood naturally leads off to a building of a community outside of yourself. And the last thing, which is kind of what all of this all goes to, is fulfillment. God made us. He made us man and woman. He said it's not good for man to be alone. In fact, the Bible says two become one flesh. And you're one together and you have children and you build on from there. It is part of how we were made. It's part of how we were intended to be. It is the fulfillment of part of our purpose of being here on earth. One of the first commandments God gave to us to be fruitful and multiply. We need men doing man things, women doing woman things, and especially if we're bringing children onto this earth, we need to have fathers active in their life. That's what the purpose of all this is. You were built and made to be a man who leads. You were built to be a father who fathers children, actually growing them, actually developing them, helping them to reach their full potential and building a future for them that's going to be safe and long-lived so that their children and their children's children will have a future. Guys, that is part of our purpose. That is part of why God put us here on earth. That's part of the grand design. That's part of the grand design and why he said man was not meant to live alone. Today I've been talking about the importance of fatherhood, and it really does go to a bunch of different levels. Fatherhood has a transformative effect on your life. You'll become a different person when you embrace fatherhood and start to live as a man who's guiding his family and his children down a path they're supposed to go. You're gonna grow yourself because you have children who are depending on you to help them grow and develop. You should start building stronger relationships with their mother, who is hopefully your wife, but even if she isn't, your children need to see y'all with a healthy relationship just so they can enter into relationships themselves whole and in positive manner, even if things don't work out. And lastly, you're building a legacy. You're building a legacy of what you're going to accomplish, what your children are going to accomplish, what their children are going to accomplish, and it's going to be cyclical. It's going to be as good as you make it or as bad as you tell them it can be. These are all things that are in your control based on the philosophy that you put in your children. And lastly, it's the purpose God made us for. It is why you're here. It's why He's told you to be fruitful and multiply, because this is fulfilling that purpose that God has men and women on earth for. All right, so let me know what you think of this video. Have I made a strong enough case for why fatherhood is important and why it's important for you to act as a father? Did I miss something? Please let me know in the comments and I'll be sure to respond. I want to thank you for stopping by. Until next time, go be legendary.